So, what is the SIGHTBEARER'S birch? SIGHTBEARER'S birch? Hold that thought. Hey everybody, my name is Bri Picard and I am the author and creator of ELOHIM'S Nights, and book 1, The SIGHTBEARER'S Search, is coming out on September 20th. That's not necessarily what all this video is about though. This video is a little bit behind the scenes. I have my notes here, okay? And I just want to kind of let you in on who I am, because I know for myself there are certain authors that, well, not even certain authors. I love to know about an author. I love to know about J.K. Rowling's writing habits. I like to know about Diana Gabaldon's behind the scenes as her travels and her research. I like to know how Anne McCaffrey created her worlds and do research that way. I like the behind the scenes and the real person behind these incredible stories, because for me, that makes the story that much more. There are a couple author friends that I have that are fantastic writers that I actually communicate sometimes with on Facebook, and knowing a little bit about how they work and how they come up with things and what goes on really makes the world that they write come even more alive, because I get to see a little bit into that. And that's kind of what this channel is going to be about. This channel is going to be some behind the scenes, some real life, but all of it linking back to stories. That is the core of, I think, any conversation that you ever have. I think that's the core of any relationship. It is the story that we tell. So let's talk a little bit about the SIGHTBEARER'S Search, just to give you kind of an idea of the flavor. I'm actually going to read the book, back of the book, because as much as I am an author and writer, I really struggle with summaries. I've always struggled with them because I, like my second son, I have 4 kids. Like my second, he wants to tell the whole story, and I'm trying to foster in him the talent of giving bite-sized bits. I'm not very good at it myself. But anyway, I'm going to read the start of the back blurb. I'm not even going to read the whole back blurb. If you want to see that, link down below to the email list. You'll be able to see the whole thing. But I'm going to give you a little snippet, just a little taste. Baza is a sight bearer, gifted with the ability to uncover the memories left behind in ordinary objects through touch. It should make him the perfect tracker. But when people go missing, every trail runs cold. Baza and his companions are left chasing shadows until his own sister is taken. Now, the search is personal. So Baza is a soldier at Aetos Hold. He is what is classified as a sight bearer, and there will be another video entirely about what a sight bearer is. But just to give you a glimpse, it's exactly like the back of the book says. He can see through people's eyes and read their emotions through objects. So if, an example, I have some yarn here. If I was Baza, I would be able to hold the yarn and I would be able to see me, right? Baza would be able to see me creating the last thing I made with this, which I believe was a stuffed mushroom, one of those pop-up ones. But he'd be able to see that and feel how I was feeling while I created it. That was the last time I touched this yarn. So that's how the gift works. The original idea is kind of convoluted a little bit. I say that. This started out as a university project. I got a creative writing certificate, and that required me writing either a short story or a novella or a novel. And if I didn't finish a novel, I had to full outline. Anyway, all that is to say, that's where this took root. Before then, I wrote a lot of what I classify as fluff romance. It was usually about 5-page short story. The characters were he and her. Maybe there were parents involved, but for the most part, it was very like, it was like a scene. It's like you're peeking into a single day in somebody's life, was basically what I wrote. I still enjoy writing those. I still like just jumping into my characters' lives at different points to see how they're doing. But that was what I wrote beforehand. And my husband challenged me that for this class, it's a writing exercise. Why not try writing something more complex? Like a fantasy that has different characters and a world, and you have to really create it. So that's what I did. And I'm telling you, the first rendition, I'll get into it in a different video. She was rough. Oh my goodness. And any author that just spits out a book at first try is like master level or lying. Because, and that's not to say that it's not possible. It absolutely is. It's just, for my writing skill level at that time, boy, it was rough. But that's the origin story. And this is now 14 years later. That also factors in a lot of life, which again, is going to be a different video. But it's taken me 14 years to get to this point. I can't believe that she's like a physical copy. I'm reading through it to make sure formatting is good. Okay, letting you know now. Currently, it's not. It will be before September 20th. But right now, she needs a little polishing. So then the question became, when I was creating this initially, what were my characters' names going to be? Who they were, what was the plot going to be? All of those things. So you may be wondering where the name Baza came from. It's kind of an unusual name. It's actually came from my husband. My husband is an avid video gamer. And of course, when he first started playing video games, you come up with a name that you go by. My personal one, when I was first video gaming, was Kelsina. It was a character I made up when I was in high school. My husband chose the name Baza, which was a play off his uncle's gamer name, because his uncle was the one who helped him start playing video games. And I thought to myself, well, what better way to kind of like pay tribute to the fact that it was my husband who got me started here than to name my main character Baza. The rest is kind of history. So I started with my character's name, but then I went from that point to the plot. I created the plot before truly understanding Baza's motivations, his different ideals, what he preferred, what he liked. And let me tell you that the outline was great after the first rendition. The very first version, again, different one, very first version, character was named Baza, only similarity. The next time, when I did my first rewrite, Baza stayed the same, but I had the outline, and it was great. Until I started writing, and Baza told me he had other plans. Isn't it wonderful when your characters have other plans? But here's what's really interesting. This was not a story that I initially thought was, hey, let's publish it. It honestly wasn't. It was one that at first I was like, you know what? I'm writing this for my schoolwork. And because I started it, I want to finish it. So I finished it. And it has never left me alone since. 15 years later, 14 years, it is still something that sticks in my brain like an earworm. And now that we're to this point, I didn't want to get to this point until I knew where the story was going. It is a story that goes beyond religions. It goes beyond culture, because I think it deals with something that every single human being has to deal with at some point in their life, particularly in this world as it stands. And that is, what will you trust when all else fails? Who will you trust when all else fails? And everybody comes up with their own different unique, maybe not unique, but their own different answer. And they all come to their own conclusions. This book wrestles with that concept. That concept of when life goes so hard left, are you going to go with it? Are you going to go straight? Are you going to go the opposite direction? What are you going to do when everything you know is flipped upside down? So I am a Christian author. Okay. That means that there is absolutely faith elements in this book. Now, here's the question that I know some of you might be asking. Is there scripture in it? Is it preachy? Is it slam you in the face kind of thing? Is it only meant for Christian people? The answer to those questions is yes and no. It is not meant for only Christian people. There's a message in this book. There is a theme that overlies this book that you do not have to be a Christian to appreciate. I know of plenty of people who do not believe the way I do, but they still love C.S. Lewis and Narnia. They still love Lord of the Rings to incredibly highly Christian believing authors that took the challenges of their faith in different ways. Is the story based on anything from my real life? Yes and no. I haven't known anybody that's been kidnapped. I don't know any major antagonists personally, anyway, that are gunning for me. The usual things. But there are themes and things I've wrestled with throughout my life that are reflected in this book. What do I hope readers take away from it? I hope they take away a good story. Let's start there. How many times have you guys read a book and you've been just so severely disappointed by the outcome, so severely disappointed by the character arc, by what happens with side characters, and you've gotten halfway through the book and you're like, this plot has gone nowhere, right? How many times? I just finished reading my first ever Brandon Saunders book, and I will tell you that his book was slow to start, at least for me. It took a while. Like, I was like to the last quarter of the book before I was like, oh, this is getting interesting, right? And that is an avid reader and somebody who is determined is going to keep going. But this book is not that. This book, my beta readers had a commentary that it jumps right in. Like, I mean, it starts in the middle of an issue. It's not, there's, for those of you who don't know, for a lot of writing tropes, the way a lot of books work is that you start with the before the incident. Show what life is like. Why should we care about this? Show the relationship. Then you show the incident. Then the rest of the book is after the incident, how they deal with the incident. This book starts in the middle of the incident. I skipped a whole section. So don't let that fool you. Don't let that throw you off. If you like something action-packed, it starts there. But this book, I wanted you to get a good story. So I'm not going to give away the ending, but I will warn you that I like a myriad of different torturous endings. Here's what I'll tell you about it. What I want you to feel at the end of this book is curious, is intrigued, is wanting more, and maybe, just maybe, a little annoyed. That's all I'm going to say about the ending of the book. You're going to have to read it to find out. So what's next for the Sightbearer's search? Great question. Right now, currently at time of filming and the time that this video comes out, the book's not out yet, though you can absolutely pre-order the ebook, and depending on when this comes out, I may still be accepting ARC readers. If there's no ARC reader, link down below, or I'll put a comment here whether or not I actually am. You can get yourself a free copy as well, as long as you leave an honest review on Amazon, because that helps authors get seen by the algorithm of Amazon. But after this is 3 more books. I have the outline written for one, and I have the ending of the whole series and ideas for the second and third. So this is a time thing. I do not have the next book written currently. At the time of filming this, I'm frankly working on these, so that way I can get them in front of you guys. That way you guys can discover your next favorite read. But the next book I do have the title of, and it is called The Green Warden's Warning. And that book is all about Emmer, who you will meet in this book. She plays a very important role, and she is... You'll get to meet her very nicely in this, and I'll be doing videos about her as well. But that is what is next for the series. Like I said, it's a 4-part book. Please don't get worried. I'm going to finish them. This is not a Game of Thrones deal. It's a small series. You can make the commitment before the books are done. I promise. I promise. I will finish them. And I've also made promises that it won't take me 14 years to write the next one, because I don't even have patience for that when authors do it. So that is the next step. When this releases, my plan, get started on writing that. I may even write a little bit today. I'm kind of feeling the itch. So that's what's next for the SIGHTBEARER'S search. Look, I just want to get in real for a minute. I want to thank you so much for watching this. This is something that has been so important to me for so many years, and I cannot wait for you guys to join me in the world of the SIGHTBEARER'S search. If you like this, feel free to subscribe. Again, email list down below, Facebook. All the links are down below. I may not end every video this way simply because, you know what? If you like it, you'll subscribe. If you don't, you won't, and that's okay. I just want to thank you, though, for joining me, for watching this. I hope you have an absolutely blessed day. Love y'all. Bye.